Alright guys, you guys had asked for some vehicle tactic stuff, something more in the realm of reality instead of all this shooting through the windshield and, you know, Dukes of Hazzard style across the hood and all this stuff. In reality, you're far more likely to end up in a carjacking situation than you are in a situation where you're actually going to be shooting through the windshield to try and shoot your way out of a vehicle ambush. So, what are some practical steps that you can do to actually protect yourself there? Well, one of the first things you can do is how you orient your weapon. Alright, having a weapon that is actually on you. I'm just using a blue gun for this right now, but having a holster secured in such a way that it can actually hold your weapon below the window line. Alright, that's something that is critical. Below the window line is important. Something that doesn't require a whole lot of shoulder movement for me to get to. For instance, if somebody approaches at my window and I have to actually reach down inside, my shoulders are telegraphing movement from my hand. If I have to actually reach into the 3 o'clock to maybe get under my seat belt or something like that, that's going to telegraph movement, that's going to show more of what's going on. In reality, I need to have the opportunity to be able to at least give the appearance that I'm complying with whatever the attacker is requesting, whether it be my wallet or he wants me to exit the vehicle. Whatever the situation calls for, I at least need to be able to give it the appearance. One of the other things that you need to consider is the fact that the doors of your vehicle and really anything regarding the shell of your vehicle is not bulletproof, not in any way. Any of the pillars, whether it be A, B, or C pillar, none of those are bullet resistant. Okay, I mean, you might get lucky and have it stop one round, but if this individual is actually deliberately trying to put rounds through there on you, he's going to get through. Those rounds will penetrate. So if you want to take a vehicle course, I would suggest you take one where you actually have a vehicle to shoot through and you can actually test some of these things. This pillar is not bulletproof. Okay, so because those doors are not bulletproof, that works both for and against you. I at least have the ability, if I can access my pistol from this position without telegraphing my shoulder, I at least have the ability to then orient that pistol into the door and nothing gives away as far as my upper body movement. Remember that this door is shut and nothing is given away as far as the orientation of where that pistol is going. I can just orient it right out through the door and I don't have any issue. If somebody is standing at that door and they're presenting the threat, I have the ability to just rotate my pistol right out under and be able to put rounds effectively through the door on them, and then from there you can go into some of the other tactics that we talked about, using like a modified car system depending on where they're at. One of the other things to consider is, because it's not bulletproof, I see a lot of people spending a lot of money on things like plate carriers and stuff like that, and even outfitting their vehicles. Realistically, you're not going to have the opportunity to throw one of these things on. And if it's an end of the world scenario, you'll probably already have your plate carrier on. So having it stowed in the back in such a manner that you actually have to go through and get it out, it's probably not going to serve you as well as you think it is. But some level 3 soft armor, even just a single-sided plate, is capable of being put either in your door panel or even, depending on your vehicle, it can be placed in the rear pocket of the door or of the seat. In my case, I don't have rear pockets back there. But what I can do is I can place just a single-sided plate back in here, and that will stop, effectively, bullet rounds that are being fired through the rear of the vehicle. Think about this in the perspective of, I'm going to be pulling away after I put those rounds on this individual. Now, I may or may not have killed him. So if I put rounds through my door on this individual and I decide to just haul butt down the road, I want to make sure that I'm not getting shot in the back. One of the other things you can do is, if you don't have pockets in your door, is you can just take soft armor and put it either under just some level 3 soft armor. You can either put it under some seat covers so that they're not visible, or if you don't mind it being visible, I just take this thing and I unstrap it at the waist and I throw it over the top and under the head cushion. And what this does is this gives me a full protection in my vitals, the same as if I were wearing a vest. So now what I can do is I can actually use this if I want. I've got a place here where I could put like a small sappy plate in here, but I can actually effectively outfit my vehicle so that I'm not going to take rounds from the rear when I go to pull away. And most vehicles that you're going to use are going to have pockets in the rear of the seat. My vehicle doesn't, but if you don't, you can take a full vest and it'll give you 2 layers of protection, one in the back of the seat and one in the front. So I'm not going to have to worry about actually getting shot in the rear. So something to think about when you're employing some of these vehicle tactics courses. Shooting through the windshield, that's fine, but if the threat is actually in front of you and you're in a working vehicle, you can just as easily just hit them with the vehicle. Okay, unless you're in maybe an ambush type scenario, which as a civilian you probably would not ever find yourself in. It's far more likely for you to be in a carjacking than it is some high-speed ninja Iraqi vehicle, you know, ambush type scenario. So something to think about there. You can use the side pockets here to actually outfit, you know, half of a vest. If you want to give yourself some ballistic protection on the side, just remember that you need to be able to have a space to be able to actually employ your weapon without bringing it above the edge of the window line and giving away what it is that you're doing. So something to think about. I wanted to give you guys a little something on vehicle tactics. All right, train hard.